Hello and welcome to Legislative Report. The June 30th budget deadline has come and gone, and although the Republican-controlled legislature once again fulfilled their constitutional duty by sending Governor Wolf a no-tax increase responsible budget, shortly before midnight, the governor vetoed it in full. Here to talk to me about the status of the budget is State Representative Harry Lewis. Representative, welcome.
All right, thank you, Anthony.
Can you update the residents of the 74th District on where the budget stands right now? We're past the deadline and we haven't seen much movement yet.
Well, sure. Status and giving you some preliminary starts on this. The House and the Senate, we put a budget on the governor's desk by the June 30th deadline. The governor decided to veto the entire budget. Now, leadership and staff from all four caucuses, along with the governor and his staff, we've held several meetings, and we're trying to hash out the differences presently. That's where we are right now.
You voted for the budget proposal, and what positives in the budget did you see that led you to make that yes vote?
You think a lot about these kinds of things, and your constituents are always first. Number one and foremost, there were absolutely no tax increases, and that's what we're trying to do. We have to start a little bit at a time. There was more money in it for education, environmental programs, and also home-based human services. It increases basic education by $100 million. Pre-K counts by 25 million, special education by 20 million. Let's see, it increases spending on higher education by 41 million. And what I like a lot about it, my local school districts, the school districts in our area, Coatesville, Downingtown, and Octorara, received an increase that was pretty good, I thought, for right now for a start. It will get better, guaranteed. Coatesville will get about a 1.6% increase, Downingtown 1.9%, and Octorara will receive a 2.4% increase. So that is substantial and I think significant to start out with. That's one reason why I liked it and I voted for it.
Now, in regards to education, when we talk about education funding, we have to talk about the pension systems, and we've heard that both state and school employees' pension systems are putting tremendous pressures on state, local, and school taxes. House Republican leadership put forth a pension reform bill, and that was also vetoed by the governor. What benefits did you see out of that pension reform bill, and do you think it was a good idea for the governor to veto that in addition with the budget?
Well, everybody wants to recoup everything all at once. We can't do that. We're for pension reform in that it helps and it sustains for a period of time what's going to happen with the pension. We just can't slash or cut or anything. We have to do some serious considerations of the people that it affects, especially our teachers, our educators, and what have you. So we are working on it. That's a work in progress, and we are concerned about the reform also and how it affects our educators.
And while we're talking about vetoes, you might as well talk about liquor privatization. The governor said when he first came into office, government that works, schools that teach. And right now, he is holding strong on more education funding, but by raising taxes significantly on people of Pennsylvania. With the liquor privatization, $200 additional million would have been put towards education, went towards the state funding in the Republican leadership's program. Where do you fall on liquor privatization? And again, was the governor's veto warranted?
I don't think the governor's veto was warranted. Number one, it will give everybody a chance in privatization. We're one of two states throughout the United States that still have a controlled liquor system. And if we go into privatization, it would increase the possibilities of more ownerships for our citizens. It would be a convenience for the constituents, and I think it's an opportunity for us to even make more money, more than the $200 million.
And finally, we only have about a minute left, but as we said, we're past the July 1st deadline, still no budget, and we haven't seen much action from the governor, with the exception of continuing to try and push a proposal that was rejected by everyone in the State House. What is the process going forward?
Well, the process going forward is currently in the hands of our legislative leaders and the governor. Okay, there's some movement, there's some progress, and I think it's a learning curve where we are trying to, and the Republicans have worked real hard in trying to be for the entire Commonwealth. And this is why we put forth this budget. I mean, it's critical. We don't want to battle anyone. We want to do what's best for our citizens. We only have so much money that we can work with. If we increase what we have, 27 billion, 30, you know, if we go beyond that, it's going to affect the constituents, it's going to affect all of the taxpayers, and taxes are going to rise. And once again, with no tax increase with this budget, I think we're on the right track to prosperity later on in the next budget, where we can see where we are now and how we progress. And I think the constituents will be very happy, and the taxpayers. And we go into property tax, everybody's concerned about that. We're trying to alleviate that, but we just can't do it all at once. And we're working hard to continue the process, to try to make the process work for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and that's for all of our citizens throughout the Commonwealth.
All right, Representative Harry Lewis, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to more updates from you on the budget situation in the future.
Thank you very much, Anthony.
That's all the time we have for today's program. If you have questions about what you've just heard or any other state-related matter, Representative Lewis's contact information will be on the screen in just a moment. Thanks for watching, and please join us again next time for another edition of Legislative Report.